Howdy do, fella kids. It is the professional Dillweed here, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm doing a first ride on the 2020 CBR650R. This video wouldn't be possible without Freedom Power Sports up here in Canton, Georgia. They are your go-to dealership for just about anything, including this here CBR650R, and just about anything else. So if you guys are in the area, or if you're not, be sure you come check them out. Be sure to tell them I sent you. But I believe this is actually my first time posting a first ride on a CBR, and the reason why I say it like that is because I have ridden the CBR500, and well, after filming and reviewing the footage, it just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So here's the first one. I must say this bike looks proper. I don't know if it's something about just seeing those 4 exhaust pipes right behind that fairing. I don't know, it's such a cool look. But speaking of exhaust, this thing, man, they threw a suppressor on this thing. I mean, it almost sounds like a refrigerator whenever it's in its stock form. And I must say, just walking around this bike, it has such an aggressive look to it. I mean, the Ferrari red sure gives it a nice pop. It makes it look like it's just doing 80 miles an hour just sitting here. And like, I mean, the front end, it just looks angry. All right, I'm gonna throw on my heated gloves. Well, because I guess I'm a pansy. Well, it is about 33 degrees out, and if you guys are all like, oh, 33 degrees, oh, that's warm. How about this? Stop lying to yourself. Well, because here in the state of Georgia, that's cold. With all that out of the way, let's hop on this thing. And also, I'm running just a little bit low on daylight, because for whatever reason, it likes to get dark at almost like 4 o'clock now, so that's real classy. And let's get this thing cranked up. Like I said, refrigerator. But actually, that's not very loud. I guess you don't need loud if you want to be in stealth mode. Now let's just get these mirrors adjusted so I can see who's losing. Yeah, that seems about right. All right, and let's get to it. One thing I would like to address, in about every single one of my videos, I get a comment. Yes, I get comments on my videos. That's not the point. But the reason why I drive with my brights on during the daytime is to be seen. Not to see, but to be seen. Because, well, you can never have too much visibility on a motorcycle. I mean, for one, I'm on a Ferrari red sports bike, which you think would stand out enough. But having your brights on a bright colored bike, people can't say they didn't see you. They might be able to say they didn't hear you because, well, yeah. But yes, this bike was warmed up. I let this thing warm up well before I even get on it. Or get on any of the bikes. Oh yeah, it's got some get up and go. I'm just gonna go ahead and close that because, well, this cold wind is, in all sense of the term, it's a bitch. All right. Yeah, this thing has some get up and go. But what I am going to say about it is that you might not realize how much power it has until you get into the higher RPM range. Because with a lot of these 650s, or sometimes even 1000s, you're not going to get into that really strong power band until you're in the higher RPM range. Here's a little bit of a curve. But, I mean, on this test ride route that I take, this is about the only curve I can really take. Man, I will say that cornering on this thing it's smooth. This would be a very nice bike to take up into the mountains. The reason I say that is because with the higher displacement bikes like 1000s, you can take them up to the mountains. Yeah, sure, why not? You're not going to utilize it to its full potential. I mean, you probably won't even use this to its full potential up in the mountains, just because you're gonna rip it and quit it just like every so often. It's more fun to take a smaller displacement bike up into the mountains just so you can like be full pin through the corners. It's so much fun. But as far as specs go, this has a 649cc 4-cylinder, which is good for a 94 horsepower. Honda is kind of hard to figure out the horsepower on things because, well, whenever you just Google it, you're like, how much horsepower does the 2020 CBR650R have? It says NA, so I guess this thing doesn't have any horsepower. It just doesn't have horsepower. That's it. I am very surprised I was able to make that light green. But as far as the seating position goes, from all the other sports bikes I have ridden, this isn't bad at all. Like the R6, the R1, the Gixxers all have a seating position to where you're like this all the time. But this, I can sit straight up and it's actually fairly comfortable. There was a little bit of a rip. I don't want to get too terribly crazy, well, because for one, the roads are cold, and two, yeah, these tires are still cold. So we're going to avoid doing anything too neck breaking. And plus, whenever I do anything just mildly, like a mild pull, people go, it's a new bike, why'd you do it? Have you ever heard of a break-in period? Well, of course I have. But then at the same time, if I don't, people are like, you drove that thing like a granny. I mean, there's no pleasing everyone. But riding along here on the interstate, it's not too bad. I mean, you have a little bit of wind protection. And if you think the wind is too unbearable, you can always crouch down like you're doing like 300 miles an hour. And there's very little to no wind hitting you, which is nice. So I'm over here cruising about 70, and of course you got all the power in the world to pass camper vans, but you have to make the sound effect while doing it. Otherwise, did you actually pass the big old camper van? Yeah, I didn't think so. But yeah, as far as interstate riding goes, I don't know why, but I was expecting to be a lot more miserable. I wouldn't go as far as saying that you could like grand tour on this, like long distance, but sometimes even whenever I get on one of these, like for a first ride, I'm like, by the time I get off of it, I'm already like, yeah, I'm done with one of these for the day. But with this, I'm actually fairly comfortable. Dang, what's with this luck and green lights? This is nice. will say that is fun. I will say if this was my bike, first thing, exhaust. It's a requirement. I mean, sure, I said, oh, stealth mode, but you know what they say. They're all like, loud pipes save lives. I've gotten so used to riding really loud bikes. So, I mean, but at the same time, having something kind of quiet, it's kind of refreshing. But I don't feel like this is the kind of bike that should be quiet. And that truck is the kind of truck that shouldn't be loud. But in power delivery, it's actually really smooth. It's going to gradually hit you in the face, opposed to just flat out just punching you in the face. Ugh. Brat. I actually thoroughly enjoyed my ride on this. So something maybe you might ask, could this be a first bike? And to which I would return another question, which would be, well, do you have enough common sense? And well, if you have enough common sense to know, well, this bike does have enough power that will send you through a wall at 140 miles an hour, then sure, go ahead. I'm not there to stop you. But then again, $10,000 for your first bike is just a little steep. And unlike a few other sports bikes that I have ridden, if you hammer this, you're not going to miraculously get over a speed that you are uncomfortable with. I know that might sound a little weird, but whenever I was giving it some beans, I was expecting to look down and see I'm doing stupid numbers. But, I mean, if you want to do stupid numbers, you can get there. But you're not going to get there against your will, if that makes any sense. If you want to get to 100 miles an hour for say, it'll get you to 100 miles an hour, no problem. But you're not going to get there without trying to get there, which is something that's really nice about the lower displacement motorcycles. But if you guys have any suggestions as to what you want to see me ride next, be sure you leave a comment below. I'm going to try my best to get my hands on one. But with that being said, that is where I'm going to start wrapping up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure you show some support by dropping a like. If you're new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button. And most importantly, be sure you hit that booty. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.